to have is بالعربي, it's not a verb. Okay, it is a preposition, or in Dutch een voorzetsel. What we do is we use this word and, which is a preposition, it's not a verb. Okay, we use this and we then use the suffix of what we learned, like the possessive form. Yeah, like عندي, عندك, عندك, like this. We're gonna do this in detail. However, first I want to do it in MSA. Okay. بالفصحى. بالفصحى, you have 3 versions. And the 3 of them are all prepositions. So you either عند is used, or لدى, or ل, just the ل. These are the 3 versions that are used in Fusha. And again, you don't need to, when you speak, you don't need to use those. We are doing those only because if you read a text, you might come across them. So you just need to translate it to English or Dutch. How are they conjugated? Actually, they are conjugated just like the possessive form. Like we did beiti, beitak, beitik, beitu, beitha. The 3 of them. Let's first do and, because it's the easiest. By the way, what does and by itself mean? In Dutch, it means bij. So when you say andi, you are saying bij mij, actually. And in English, it means, I think, at. At me, which means I have. Okay. Okay, the 3 of them, this one as well, it means the same. Lada also means by, at, and li means for in English, and in Dutch, I think aan. So if you say li, it means aan mij, or for me. This is for me. Actually, let's translate them like this. The 3 of them for each pronoun. So I have. These 3 are I have. عندي, لدي. So la, da, that's how you pronounce it. لدي, double y. لدي. And li. You have. عندك. عندك. لديك. عندك, لديك, or لك. So these are in your book. You don't need to rewrite them. These are in your book on page صفحة 116. We're doing now the present tense. Okay? So what I want you just to do, to know also, especially with لديك, is the preposition was لدى, but when you conjugate it, because the alif, there is a suffix coming after the alif maksura, you change the alif maksura to ya, then you put the suffix. Because the alif maksura can only be written at the end of the word. You know, the alif maksura, which is like the ya with no dots. This letter is usually pronounced as a. However, if there's a suffix coming after it, we change it to ya. Because you cannot have an alif maksura in the middle of the word. That's why here the preposition is lada. However, when I'm conjugating it, I'm changing it to ya. لدي لديك. هلا, without looking in your book, let's try to use your your logic and what we learned, the possessive form, to try to tell me what it should be. So this one was you have, you man have. Now you women, woman, feminine have. Inti, in fusha. Okay, tell me what it should be. Chloe said there are not عندك, because عندك is spoken Arabic. It is
عندك.
Ki. Yeah. Okay. عندك. Okay, tell me how this one becomes.
لديك.
Bravo. لديك. لديك. Bravo. And this one?
لك.
Bravo. Lucky. He had. هو.
عنده.
عنده. So from here onwards, the preposition becomes عند, and then you add the suffix. عند, عندك, عنده. This one.
لديه.
Logically, it should be لديه. Okay. However, in Fusha, you cannot have the sounds E and U after each other. Okay, this combination doesn't exist. So in this case, because the ha, you barely hear it, it's very soft, it sounds as if you have EU here, and you don't want that. So the U here, the Dhamma, is changed to E. It becomes لديه. Because of the ya here. There is a ya and then a ha, which you barely pronounce. So the dhamma becomes kasra. لديه. And then he has with la.
لكو.
صح. له.
Or له.
What, you said leku?
Yeah.
No, there's no, the kah is only for you. Because the preposition is la.
Yeah.
You just need to add hu. Lahu.
له.
Okay, now she has.
لها.
Yeah, this one is laha. Okay, said it already.
لها.
This one.
عندها.
عندها.
صح. عندها.
عندها. Where?
عندها.
عنده.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Just always say عند and then add the suffix. and that one.
لدي
هو
لا أنا Maria. Someone else said it before. I think Maria said it. Say it again.
لدي
لديها. برافو. لديها. هي عندها. You know, let's repeat them. Now let's say them, the three of them. هي
عنده
عندها.
sorry
لديها
لديها
لها
لها.
لها
هو
عنده
عنده
لديه
له
له
نعم. أنت
عندك
عندك
لديك
لك
لك
برافو. أنت
عندك لديك
لك
برافو. أنا
عندي لك
لدي
لك
لدي
لديك
لدي
أو يا لديك
خيك لدي
أوه لدي
and
لي
لي
Alrighty, top. Now we're gonna do the plural.
Whoa.
Okay. These were the singulars. We have, again, we keep the same logic. نحن
أنا
عندها
عندنا
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 that one
لدينا
لدينا
برافو لدينا and the third one
لنا
لنا.
لنا
Always keep the sound la first, then put the suffix. We have.
لنا
Then they have. لا مش they have. You have, sorry, first. You plural. Jullie in Dutch. You plural. Okay. أنتم
عندكم
صح عندكم this one
لديكم
لديكم and this one
لكم
لكم.
لكم
Let's repeat نحن
عندنا
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 لدينا لنا
لنا
أنتم
عندكم
عندكم
لديكم لكم
لكم. برافو.
لكم
Okay. This in Fusha we also have you dual, which means if you're talking about two persons, you two have, because that one in Fusha it starts as of three. Okay, so two is dual. We haven't practiced too much the dual. I will tell you. It's exactly.
With Sammy and Mimi. We have it all printed in our minds.
بالضبط.
يا
سامية وميمي.
عندك
نعم. أمهما أباهما, بيتهما. But in Sami and Mimi, we use the third person, the they. Okay, but you know now that the dual finishes with which letter?
Ah,
Alif, صح. So it's exactly like this one with Alif at the end. Okay, so you tell me what it should be.
عندكما.
صح.
oh
صح.
yeah.
عندكما.
Kuma. Oh yeah.
That one.
لديكما.
Ladaikuma.
صح. لديكما. And this one?
لكما.
Lakuma.
صح. لكما. Then we have, let's repeat this one. It is the pronoun is أنتما. So أنتما.
Indukuma.
عندكما.
عندكما.
لديكما.
لديكما. Laikuma.
لكما. Okay, then we have they. They in Dutch. They have. Hum. Okay. Yalla, tell me.
عندهما.
عندكم.
هم.
عندهم. Oh, so yeah.
عندهم. See how consistent it is. Every time it is عند, then the suffix. عندهم.
لديهم.
لديهم.
برافو. لديهم. And
لهم.
لهم.
Oops. لهم. And we have they dual. And this is what we used in Sami and Mimi.
Oh, yeah.
They too have.
بيتهما.
So it is, the pronoun is huma. Okay, huma. Okay, tell me what this one should be.
عندهم. عندهما.
صح. عندهما. And this one?
لديهما.
صح. لديهما. And this one?
لهما.
لهما. Okay, let's repeat this one. هما.
عندهما.
عندهما.
لديهما.
لديهما. لهما.
Okay, there are two more. Only used in Fusha. Okay, the two left are the two plural, you plural and they plural, but pure feminine. So add of 3 women. Okay, these are the extras that we don't use in dialect. In spoken Arabic, you don't need to worry neither of the dual nor of the plural feminine. But in Fusha, you will see them in texts. So, you, plural women, plural feminine have? The pronoun is antunna. Antunna. So it finishes with unna, the sound unna. And this sound you will use as a suffix in all of them. So antunna with anda, okay, anda.
Aindatuna.
Una.
With you, what do you have? What's the first letter of the suffix? Always.
Kuna.
P.
Ah, it's a calf. You need the calf
Ah.
always with you.
Oh,
Anda.
Aindatuna.
Unna.
Oh,
Okay, you
Tuna
need
and the
the unna sound is your suffix.
Mhm.
عند كنا
Kuna.
لدي
Kuna.
كنا كنا and لا
Lacuna.
كنا. And the you, no, not you, they plural feminine. Feminine have. The pronoun always starts with her, right? Huwa, hiya, hum, hunna is the plural feminine. Hunna. So the suffix, wait, and that is also your suffix. That whole thing is your suffix. Okay? So tell me what this should be.
Aina.
Indahuna.
بالضبط
Give it away.
بالضبط عند لا عند عندهن and with لدي
Hunna.
لديهن
Ladayuna.
and لهن.
Lauta.
Let's repeat. أنتن
عندكن
Andakuna.
لدي.
Ladaykuna.
لكن
Lakuna.
هن
Munna. Andayhunda.
عند
Ladayhun.
Una.
لديهن
لديهن
And
لهن
لهن.
Lahuna.
So a few things to keep in mind. Okay, the dual, all duals finish with a. عندكما عندهن عندهما. Okay, لديهما لديكما. Always when you hear a at the end, keep in mind it's dual at the end of a verb or so-called verb, because this is not a real verb. If you hear unna, so double noon, keep in mind that this is plural feminine. Okay, because عندكن and عندهن, they both finish with unna. The unna sound is for the plural feminine. What you also have to keep in mind is that something particular to the second person and to the third person. Everyone knows what's this second person to third person? If you don't know, just tell me, ask me.
Not really.
Not really, okay.
No.
So second person is all the you, all of them. you masculine, you feminine, you plural, you dual, you feminine, plural. All of the yous are second person. All of the ones starting with ha are the third person. So, no, not starting with ha. He, she, they,
هي هو.
هي, هو, hum, hunna. These are all the third persons. Okay? So in Arabic, all the second person, all of the yous, all of them, they have to have a ka in the suffix. And all of the third persons have to have a ha in the suffix. See here, that's a you, it has a ka. That's a they, it has a ha. This is always consistent. Always keep this in mind. Now, the past tense of all of these is easy. Why? Because it's exactly how we did it now, but with can right before to have. Can is not conjugated. It stays the same for all of the pronouns. So let's just now, because we have this on our board, let's do the past tense of these, okay? So, أنتن كان عندكن, like this, okay? So, أنتن كان عندكن.
أنتن كان عندكن.
And now past tense with this one. أنتن
أنتن كان لديكن.
bravo. And with this one.
أنتن كان ليكن. لكن.
And now the past tense of hunna. Hunna.
هنا كان
عندهن.
عندهن.
هن كان لديهن.
هن كان لهن.
Perfect. And that's not only for these, but for all of them. It's can. Can and then the to have. That's how you make it. How you make it past tense.
Naila, zeg je kan of kana?
In fusha kana. بالعامية can.
Okay.
But if in fusha you say can, it's not wrong.
Okay.
It's fine. Now, what about the negation? What about if you want to say, I don't have? Okay, he doesn't have, we don't have. You use ma. Okay. No, wait, sorry. بالفصحى لا, مش ما. بالفصحى you use ليس. However, it's not conjugated. That's the nice thing about it. ليس, but not conjugated. So you don't have is ليس عندكن. ليس عندهن. ليس لديكن.
ليس لديك.
ليس لكن, etc. For all of them in Fusha. And in the past tense, so ليس is used to for the negation in the past tense, verleden tijd. In the present tense, we use لم يكن. But keep in mind, again, this is fusha. You don't use this to speak. We will now do how do you speak. In speaking, it's much easier.
Naila, in the book you said that it's present tense lies and then past tense lam.
لم يكن. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So this should be, this is صح بالضبط. Bravo, Luis. So ليس is present indeed. And لم يكن is past.
لاميكن لاميكن.
So it's pronounced like this. لم يكن. لم يكن. And you put this right before the verb. So لم يكن عندكن. لم يكن لديكن. But again, this you are gonna just read this in text. That's it. Now I want to tell you, we want to talk about why do we have three and when to use which. When is which used?
Naila,
Mhm.
عندي سؤال.
No.
So lam yakun is past of I did not have written.
I did not have, yeah.
Yeah, but written.
Written, yeah.
Yeah. So what is it speaking?
ما كان عندي. But we're gonna do speaking. We're now, I don't want to confuse, do both.
Okay.
Okay. We did
Okay.
MSA, we're gonna do speaking. Okay. Okay. So the three versions, when is which used? This is on the next page, صفحة 117. So you have when the subject is a living being, the following are used. Okay, so it has to do in the sentence, you have the subject, which is in Dutch, het onderwerp. And you have a direct object, which is in Dutch, leidend voorwerp. Anyone doesn't know what these mean? Oh, Eric, you know these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when to use which has to do with what your subject is and what your direct object is. So, if the subject is living, a living being, يعني a person, a family member, a friend, a teacher, a lawyer,
An animal.
You can
Yeah.
use, animal, you can use the three of them, okay? It doesn't matter. However, what matters then is your direct object. Let's say here, let's put three, which means the three versions. Then, is your direct object living? If direct object is living, then you use le. The third one, this one. Actually, the best thing would be to look at the diagram I have on page 118. صفحة 118. The overview.
Yeah.
So if your subject is living and your direct object is non-living, it's an object or a thing, leda is used. If the direct object, leda or عند. it doesn't matter. But if the subject is living and the direct object is also living, so if you say, I have an aunt in Lebanon, then you use li. You don't say عندي خالة, li خالة. Yeah? So if what you have is a living, then li is used. If what you have is an object, then you can use either عند or لدى. So like, for example, I have a house in Byblos, okay? Then my direct object is non-living. Then I can use عندي or لدي.
لدي.
Because my what I have is a thing, an object. Yeah. And the last one is if the subject is non-living and the direct object doesn't matter anything, then we use fi or fiha or lahu and laha. Okay. An example of this is, for example, sentences like Holland has a king. So Holland is a non-living thing, Holland. Okay. Then you have to use Hollanda laha malik. Laha, why laha? Because Hollanda is feminine. All countries are feminine in general, except for, we did that, except for Lebanon, Lebanon, Urdun. This was back in chapter 7. Countries, all Western countries, they're all feminine. Yeah, so always with the country, use laha. Hollanda laha malik. When do we use fihi and fiha? If you are talking about, let's say, the hotel has nice rooms. In this case, I would use fihi because you are saying the hotel has rooms. It means inside the hotel, there are nice rooms. If the direct object is inside something, then fihi and fiha are used. Another example is a house that has 2 bedrooms. Okay, بيت فيه غرفتين نوم. البيت فيه مطبخ. In these sentences, بيت is non-living. So my subject, mein Unterverb, is non-living. Then that's why I need to use either فيه or فيه فيها or له لها. I would use فيه وفيها if the object is inside the subject. It sounds very complicated now. However, when we practice with sentences, you will get used to it. And again, in spoken Arabic, you don't need to worry about all these things. However, in spoken Arabic, the last one, when the subject is non-living, and the usage of فيه, فيها, and له, لها, that's also for spoken Arabic.
Okay.
I don't know if we should probably at this shall we do now spoken Arabic or we keep it till next week so that let this sink in first, maybe. Ahsan. Okay, for now, this was all we did now was Fusha.
Okay.
Let it sink in. Next week we do spoken. Let's read the examples in the book. Maybe that will make it also a bit clearer. So, the examples of 11.1.4. When the subject is a living being and is used. 1 second, okay? Hey, so Samira has 3 children. Okay, let's read it together. So here, look, in Samira has 3 children, the subject Samira is living, and the object children is also living.
Also living.
Yeah. So here I used عندها, but I could also have used which one?
لي.
لا. Ah, yeah, لي.
عندي.
Sorry. I can use لها. لها. Wait 1 second. Ah, this colloquial. Sorry. Not عندها. Okay. I was at the colloquial one. Okay, so لسميرة 3 أولاد. Here I put the li in front of Samira, but I could have also done Samira لها 3 أولاد. Yeah, so here I need to use the li because my direct object is living. Murad does not have children. Let's read this one together. Murad.
مراد
له
مراد ما عنده.
لا ليس له أولاد الأطفال. This is we're doing now for the original students of this group, it's page 117. For the new students to this group, it's page 121. Okay.
Oh,
117. Yeah. So Murad ليس له أولاد.
مراد ليس
له
له
أولاد or
أولاد.
أطفال. Yeah.
الطفل staat hier.
أطفال. Yeah. Ik heb geen broer. I don't have a brother. Let's together.
ليس لي
لي أخ.
أخ. Again, in all of these, the direct object is living. That's why I keep using li.
ليس لي أخ.
ليس لي أخ. Now, he had a car. This one, the direct object is a non-living.
Ja.
So I used عنده. Okay. But it's past tense. So that's why I used كان عنده.
عنده
عنده
سيارة.
سيارة. They did not have class today. So this one is past tense. The subject is living. The direct object is what?
Non-living.
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 Yeah. So I used لديهم. Could I also have used عندهم?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Could I use لهم?
Nee, leven. Ja, zij.
لا. Because the direct object is non-living.
Oh, the theirs. Yeah.
I cannot use لهم here.
Oh, yeah.
So let's read it together. لم يكن
يكن
لديهم
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 يوم.
درس اليوم.
No.
لم يكن.
So all of these 5 examples, my subject was living. My direct object, I did different, but all of them, my subject was living. Now in part 2, my subject is non-living. Like this city has a lot of history.
هذه المدينة لها تاريخ قديم.
قديم. So now I'm applying the rule of when the subject is non-living, I have to use فيه فيها or له لها. Here I used لها. Why لها? Why feminine I use? Not له.
Because Medina is feminine.
Because Medina is feminine. I said هذه المدينة لها تاريخ قديم. تاريخ قديم. The next one, the streets of this city have peculiar names. So here the subject, what's the subject in this sentence?
Streets
Street.
of the
Streets.
city.
And what's the direct object?
Strange names.
Strange names. So I would use the streets is شوارع. Okay, it's the plural of شارع. شوارع. Repeat.
Shawara.
شوارع هذه المدينة. I used لها. Why did I use feminine?
Because
شارع.
شوارع.
because the Medina is feminine.
No, but my subject is the streets.
Oh, that's also feminine.
It's not feminine, but it's
Oh.
plural non-living. Remember?
Oh,
Remember I told you non-living plural is considered feminine grammatically.
non-living plural is considered feminine.
That's why I used laha.
Okay.
Then I have the third one. Most streets in Beirut do not have a name. Again, my subject is streets, non-living. My direct object is also non-living. So most is معظم. Okay, say it. معظم.
معظم.
معظم الشوارع
Yeah.
شوارع
بيروت
بيروت
ليس
ليس
Is a laha
اسم.
ism.
So ليس لها does not have. Again, I use feminine because شوارع is a plural non-living. Next one. This house has a large bathroom.
هذا البيت له
كبير.
حمام
حمام
كبير.
Kabir.
Okay, tell me now, why did I use له here?
because it's masculine.
Because
Because the hammam is inside the house.
yes, exactly. and the house is masculine and the subject is non-living. Bait is non-living. Could I have used هذا البيت فيه حمام كبير?
Yes,
Yeah,
Hey, why?
because it's inside the house.
that inside story. Yeah.
بالضبط, bravo. And the last one, Hani's room has a big bed. غرفة هاني
Gaat Hani
فيها
فيها سرير
إيران
كبير.
فيها. Okay, so what's the subject here?
Hani's room.
Hani
de kamer van Hani.
طيب غرفة هاني. غرفة.
غرفة هاني.
Is it masculine or feminine?
Feminine. غرفة.
Feminine. Yeah, because you don't look at Hani because it's Hani's room. The room is
The room is feminine.
Yeah. The room is feminine, so I use fiha. And why did I use fi, by the way? Fiha.
Because the room is like inside. The bed is inside the room.
صح. بالضبط. Bravo. Okay, so I think after doing the example, it becomes a bit clearer.